Hey everybody, so here's just a real quick update. I've got all the parts inside dry fit, the walls and all that kind of thing. It's all taped together. I'll pop that lid off in a moment. You'll notice here I got a really huge pine round. I think it's like 24 inch maybe, somewhere around there. And basically when I initially got it, I was thinking about setting the Jupiter centered, but then I figured if I offset it, then I could do a ramp down here to the ground, and I'll explain a little more of that. My idea for a diorama here is to either drill a hole just big enough to fit the entire ship, and then put a support underneath, and then make this ground level so it sits with the landing gear. I will be gluing the landing gear in the bottom. So either I drill a hole in this, so this level here sits flush with that, and there's support underneath for the gear, or I set it so it sits at whatever height here, and then I build up a new level of ground, and that just sits on the pine here. That's probably the most sensible bet. I could run some styrene strip around the side and then around the side of this and build it up with whatever kind of filler I can come up with at the time. I'm not thinking about that right now. But I got this piece of wood over at Home Depot for, I think it was 16 bucks. It's probably a good solid inch thick, and just preliminarily I've marked out the size of the ship relative to the board. It's pretty damn huge, both pieces, the ship and the wood. So let me reset the camera and we'll pop the lid off here and see how it looks inside. Alright, so I've got the little bubble set on top here. The window is in. So what I'm thinking about doing is cutting this door out. I want to do it real gentle so I can still keep the door and put it back in later if possible. But I'm going to worry about that a little later down the road. One thing I've noticed is that this front has a distinct gap going on, so I'm going to set some more magnets along the inside of there to help keep that shut. But overall it's got a pretty tight fit everywhere else. So let's pop this off here if I can. What I may do is, if you saw the last video, you know that there's going to be a really big pop in a second when I hit the back post here. Like that. So what I might do is actually trim that post down so it pops open a little bit easier. There we go. So I haven't done anything in here. This window fits in really nice and snug. If anyone ever makes a brass version of this, that's definitely going to be worth getting. These center walls right here are definitely a little on the fragile side, so you got to be careful. I'm going to put those back in a bag after I finish with this here. So this is basically what we're looking at for the setup. So right now what I'm looking at for doing for the wiring is make it all self-contained, so I can simply lift this out of the model entirely if I wanted to. This will make a really nice display piece all by itself. I've got the fusion core cover down here. That fits pretty tightly. There's a bit of a gap here, and I'll deal with that when I get to it. That could be either the hull that's a little off, or it could be the fusion core itself. There is a bit of wobble going on, so either way, this is just snapped in right now. I'm not going to glue that yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this one or the other one yet. So over here, this tapes together is a really nice piece. I don't have quite all the pieces thoroughly set in there. In fact, let's pull this ceiling off so I can set them up a little better. So in the last video, I was wondering if it'd be necessary to build all the walls in and then attach them to the floor and then put the ceiling on. So doing this dry fit showed me that that is not necessarily the way it needs to be done. So I'm kind of happy about that. Everything here fits pretty darn well. One of the things that surprised me, if I can get this back in the floor here, so yeah, one of the surprising things that there is no wall for the side of the airlock here, so I might have to make one of those. And what I'll do is basically trace this onto a piece of styrene and just attach it right there. Very easy to do. I did put these walls in upside down, the white plastic. The clear looks like it only goes one way because it has slots in the floor. Part of what could be going on here, since I just taped this shut, is that these walls are a little loose and they don't quite fit right, but I'm thinking that's probably because they're not glued in at all. I had been hoping I'd be able to somehow keep the walls removable. That might still be possible, like this entire section of 3, or maybe this section or that section, but it's looking like the walls will have to go in. And they attach easily enough down there. But there's not going to be any way to magnetize those. But overall, this is definitely looking like it's going to go together a lot easier than I was certainly scared of happening early on. Such an expensive and huge skill level 3 kit, you don't want to screw it up, and there's a certain amount of trepidation when you step into any kind of project like this. But overall, it definitely looks like it's going to go pretty well. Like I said, next time I got to make sure I get the walls in correctly. You don't want to glue stuff upside down, of course. So these parts here will go towards the top. And one thing I think I had mentioned in the last video is that I thought I could slip some magnets underneath here to attach the wall, and of course, since this is the ceiling, that can't be done. But that shouldn't be too much of a worry at all. I've started blacking out most of the walls here. As you can see, I'm going to have to spray paint the backs of these, as well as do all these in black. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. The whole idea was to show off the base for it here, how everything looks when it goes together. It's definitely going to go together pretty well. And in the next videos, you'll definitely be seeing some more of that. At that point, I think I'll have all of the pieces painted black to kill any light leak going on. All the floors at the bottoms where they connect, those will have to be sealed up with putty or something, just to keep any stray light from getting in there. I saw one of these in operation with the lid off and all the lights on, and the fusion core is definitely going to have a lot of light bouncing around. So what I'm thinking about doing for that is, once the core is set in here, I'll build up a little more styrene around these walls, and that will help kill any stray light from going anywhere. So I think that's really about it. Like I said, I just wanted to do a quick one here, and I'm really psyched about this. It's going to go together really well, and I'm hoping to get definitely some good progress this weekend. So thanks for watching, as always. See ya.